live. Mighty mates, let's go, son. This is
What's up, buddy?
Thank you for doing this, mate. I know I'd be the pain in the ass because I said, can we move it to Saturdays for a bit? Because trials are like, so I found out yesterday I was doing the Correga trial, right?
Hmm.
Third day, obviously, and I was streaming another trial. Thank God the witness came off the other trial. The witness came off the stand, and then also then I had the wheel of death because I couldn't stream both at the same time. So I know that on Mondays, if I'm streaming a trial, for whatever reason, the bandwidth won't play with me, so I can't do two streams at once. Well, I used to be able to, now I can't. So
Huh.
I can't do two streams, it seems, anymore, or for a while anyway until I fix it. So I appreciate you for moving it to Saturdays for me. Hopefully we stick to Saturdays for a while. But yeah, you're super excited because there's some big things happening in Detroit.
There
What's happening in
is.
Detroit? Let's go. Hang on. Do you
Um,
put?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, do you want me to put the presentation up now? Tell me when you want the presentation up.
No, we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting news going on, obviously across the NFL right now. It is the season of disinformation, so it's right up my alley, as we all know. Um, they actually have groups that they pay to put out disinformation to try and move people off from picks and so on and so forth. So this is the prime disinformation time frame. So this is the fun stuff right here. Um, but yeah, NFL draft. They're building the stage in the greatest city in the world, Detroit, Michigan.
I was going to say where? I thought it was in
Yeah,
Detroit.
it is. So that's starting to take shape, and it's really cool to see. Um, I had a Of course, they're not going to show it now. There was a picture up of it, of them putting up the stage. I mean, it's going to be all of downtown. I have my tickets, pretty stoked, ready to go.
Are you going
Let's
every
get it.
day?
Yeah,
Are you going
yeah.
every day? Oh wow! Because I think it's going to be a different experience every day as well.
Hmm.
I don't think it's the same. I think first round was like, oh, who's this one player? Then the second round was like, you're more saturated. Okay, it's still exciting. Then the third day, it's like fucking rigmarole. It's like party time. Names are being called. You say, who the fuck's this? I don't care, but let's fucking go. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, you know? So I think it's party time. So it's good. But Husky thinks that AB's coming back. You
uh,
see that?
I sent him a thing last night. Antonio Brown said he'll come back for free just to play on the Steelers.
There we are. There we go. To play with Russell Wilson.
Um,
Hang on.
Bring that up real quick, and I'll turn off the volume. But this is downtown. This is the stage being built for the NFL draft. Um,
Wow. It looks
right,
huge.
Michigan. Luckily, nobody stole it yet, so we're good there. Um,
Yet.
yet. Oh, they got fence up. That's why. Um,
I
so
thought this
that's
was you.
casino.
Oh,
No,
I
no.
thought this was you. Oh, this just looks. It looks nice.
Detroit is a nice city. It really, truly is. I love it.
I've
Casinos to
watched.
the left.
Sorry,
So no, you're good. Go for it.
I watched a few videos of Detroit because I like to do research on these cities, sorry, where NFL teams are,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, obviously Dearden or whatever. There's a lot of places I'm looking at in Detroit, and I was watching videos of the snow. Oh my God, the snow in Detroit is like people just drive in. We're just normal. I'm like, Jesus, if that was
Mhm.
Wales, we'd be shut down. We wouldn't even like specs. Honestly, just a little bit of snow, we're done. It's like, right, no work, no schools, nothing. We're just not used to it. We get probably 1 week's worth of okay snow every 2 years,
Huh.
on average, I would say. But apart from that, it's like, yeah, everything shuts down. We don't carry on. It's like done. No one
That's
could
not how
drive
it
in it,
works here. It's
I
not
think
how it
you're
works
built for it
here.
though. I think you're built
Yeah.
for it though. I go, you do this on stage.
Yeah. One more. And then I'll. So this is kind of breakdown. This is Cobo Center, Cobo Arena. This is the Ren Center. This is the Detroit River. So,
What is that? What's Colville Center?
uh, Cobo is our big exhibition center. It's where they hold
Okay.
the North American International Auto Show. There's been a litany of concerts there, hockey games. if because I just did my Detroit series, the '90s. Do you remember Tanya Harding and what's her name? Remember the chick that she took a pole and broke her legs so she couldn't skate in the Olympics and figure skating?
No.
It must be an American thing, but there are two figure skaters that were both vying for the Olympics, and one paid her bodyguard to break the other girl's leg in the '90s. That happened here at Cobo.
Wow, I know, I didn't know that. Whoa. I mean, Jesus Christ. Detroit's a safe place. It's a safe, lovely place. Nothing like
Oh,
that
it's a
ever
wonderful
happens.
place.
You know,
Go
just
with
breaking
somebody.
legs.
Go
Yeah,
with
go
somebody
with
from the city. That's what I always say.
yeah.
But
I'd be going with my teas packet. So you know, no. But that's fair. That's fair.
so Canada's over here on the other side of the Detroit River. This is Renaissance Center, which is the General Motors national headquarters. And then the draft's going to kind of go through town. This is Jefferson, and it's going to kind of run through town. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens.
So logistically now then, right? Oh, we got hamburger in the house as well. Hamburger, go pack, go.
Oh.
So logistically, tell me this now, right? Not that we need this, I could take this down, but so what's your plan? So on Thursday,
Mhm.
big day, drafts kick off at 8 o'clock. What do you have to do? Like, because you're gonna have to drive down there, I presume, or you're gonna have to do something like these things. How early do you need to be there for the draft?
It's not going to be far. I have plenty of friends and stuff down there, so I'll park at somebody's house.
Fine,
But
you're lucky then.
I mean, like 10-15 minutes, maybe. Like it's not going to be that crazy out of the way. I don't know how traffic and stuff's going to be. I'll probably go earlier. Just go grab me a Coney and spend some time downtown. But yeah, as far as logistically, it's not going to be challenging to get down there. So
Okay, but how early do you think you will be down there for the atmosphere and stuff like that?
I haven't decided yet. It's gonna really depend on what happens between now and then, but probably realistically fairly early.
I'm asking loads of questions now, but are you going on your own? Or are you going? Who's going with you?
At least day one, I'm gonna go on my own. For the round one, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there. But day one, I'll be down there by myself.
So you be in the crowd, like literally in the crowd. Then
Mhm.
are you designated an area, or how does it work?
So they have various different events and stuff going on down there. But I'll be by the state, so by the Detroit Opera Center, by Campus Martius, that area. It's a park which is kind of be the epicenter of it. And that's be the general location where I'll be at during the time frame. So, but I'll move around and take in the experience and see what's around. So
you got access to a lot of like all downtown, basically. Then yeah, cool. Is it restricted as well? As in, you said you got a ticket, but can anyone just turn up, or is there a section where it's like, no, you can't go further than this without a ticket?
So there are two separate ticketed sections. So the entirety of that city, and there'll be bars and stuff that you can go in and just check stuff out. But as far as the draft and the NFL's portion of it, the entire thing is restricted by ticket, and then the actual pick hall is restricted by ticket as well. So there's two different levels of basically restriction once you get into the area. But I mean, Detroit's pretty compact. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be down there, all in the same general location. That path doesn't take into account Ford Field, so I don't know if they're going to be having separate events at Ford Field. But I'll definitely pop down there and see what's going on too. So
They will have, because they normally do something for fans, don't they, everywhere? So they probably have something on. Sorry about the questions. It's just more like it's not every day you're going to meet somebody that's going to go to the draft.
Oh, it's a bucket list thing, dude. Like I've been waiting
Yeah.
forever, and I'm so excited about it.
So I got Hamburger in the chat. Dave, it's going to Green Bay next year. Are you go? Is it next year? I think so. Are you going to
Is it?
that, Dave? Is that a bucket? Yeah, I think it's Green Bay next year. And then yeah, I don't. The year after Pittsburgh, and I think someone else is trying to go the year after. Then I think it might be Pittsburgh. They'll get it next year, but I'm pretty sure 2025 is Green Bay.
That's cool. Huh. I
Yeah.
like Pittsburgh.
So,
I might take a trip down to the Three Rivers area and check that one out too. Maybe if I like this one. So
and Dave says this. I agree with this. Motown, thumbs up. Great thing. NFL is finally getting out of New York for the draft. I agree. It
mhm.
should go around. I think, and I'm not just saying it should go to like LA, Vegas, Miami because of the weather. It's great to get nitty gritty. Let's get to Pittsburgh. Let's go to Detroit. Let's go to Chicago. Let's go to Green Bay.
Right.
The home of football. Do you know what I mean? Allegedly, according to Dave Umberger. But yeah, no, it should be everywhere. I think it should be everywhere. So anyway, let's get on with it. What's your presentation just on the draft?
Yeah, so it's draft related. So whenever you want to get to the draft, so I
Right.
broke down positions, so
Cool.
we can,
Twins. Yes, we are twins, nuclear.
Yeah.
We could literally go probably. My haircut is fresh. Yours is probably a few weeks. Do you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
the difference. So
yeah, it's about 2 weeks old. So yeah, you're.
there you go.
Mhm.
You know, no. Before we go into the draft, I just want to speak a couple of things about like the big move recently has been Stefan Diggs
Yeah,
leaving the Bills. Because last time we spoke, I said I think Bills are on their last legs. Do you know what I mean? I said maybe one more season, but they lost Gabe Davis and all that. But now they lost Stefan Diggs. It's like, what's they what are they doing? I mean, okay, I'm not a massive fan of Diggs, if I'm being honest. I'm not a massive fan of him. I think he's a good player, obviously, but I don't like his attitude. I actually think he's better off getting out of there. But yeah, it's still big news though. What do you think?
yeah. I talked to a buddy about it locally, and he's like, "Yeah, I was shocked by it." And I said, I'm really not." Dick is a cancer. He's a locker room cancer. He's been
Thank you.
absolute hell in Buffalo. Yeah, I I see an upgrade with him moving, especially getting a second round pick and all the wide receivers that are available in this draft. Give me two of these guys over Steph Diggs.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I think wide receiver is just such a interchangeable position, and I don't think Diggs is that far and above anything else. Um, Obviously they lost pretty much their entire wide receiving room and are going to have to draft at least one, if not two.
Too,
But
yeah.
I don't hate the move. I think I think they got better trading Diggs than
I do.
you know
I
keeping him
think
around.
I
So
I think he'd be fine in Houston for a year because he's got a 1 year contract, so he's going to play well. I think for 1 year.
mhm,
But Houston, please don't sign him, Houston.
no,
Please don't, because get him there for a year, get a year out of him, then ship him on because he's not worth it. He's not. I think he's an arrogant prick. Um,
yeah,
Before we go on that, tickets to Ducks and Spartan game with my son-in-law and grandsons next fall, so that'll be fun. Happy days,
that's
happy
cool.
days.
That's
That's cool.
cool.
Not going to Packers games. It's impossible to get good tickets, but if they come to Seattle, I'll be there. So word's going around Dallas Fort Worth that they want to acquire another Texas team for the NFL. But that's
Oh,
been
we're
going
gonna
around for
get
a
to
while,
that.
though.
No, we're
Okay,
gonna
we'll
get
get
into
that.
that.
Fine. Before we get
Yeah,
into that, so I want to go back to Diggs for a second and say, I remember when everyone said, "Oh, Buffalo, they won the what a great pick! They gave first round pick for Diggs and stuff, and he's obviously happy." But look what they could have had
hmm
in Jefferson.
hmm
Now that we can look back now, I think confidently and say that the Vikings won that trade
hmm
by a country mile, in my opinion. Um, I know everyone said it was Buffalo won it. Absolutely not. Vikings smashed the Buffalo Bills for that one. Can you imagine if Jefferson was with the Bills? Woo! But whatever. Any other free agency stuff at all that you think? The only thing as I can think about is things like Zach. What's his name?
Minter
Quarterback.
guard.
No. Quarterback. New York Jets. Zach Wilson.
Wilson.
Like
Yeah.
he seems to be staying there. There's talk about him leaving. Mac Jones obviously going to the Jaguars, which was a bit of a shock, but he's going to refocus there, I think. There's a lot of that stuff. I mean, there's a few players that haven't signed anywhere yet. Hunter Renfro, I'm not sure where he's going to go. I think he's a quality player. I'm not saying a number one. I'm not even saying a number two, but he's a quality number three / maybe number two.
Yeah.
You need players like that, I think. But he hasn't. I don't think he's signed anywhere. I think there's a few. What's his name? The Edge. Clowney went to Panthers. I think that's a shit move by the Panthers. I think they wasted money there. I think absolutely garbage.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah. So anyone else that you could think of that stands out to you?
Not really. Just to touch on the trade for Diggs.
Yeah.
This is the downfall of yet another Ohio State quarterback, and we know how I feel about Ohio State quarterbacks. They're gonna kill CJ Stroud. Like, this is gonna become cancer. It's gonna go to hell. And prophecy will be true yet again. But no, I mean, we're in the whatever people didn't get in free agency, they're going to get in the draft, and then if they can't get somebody in the draft, then we'll see the second wave of free agency. But free agency's calmed down for the most part. Nothing crazy going on right now. So
no, yeah, because the last time it's been a week or so since we last spoke. So it's only the Diggs one I can really think of, and a few surprises that I'm not sure where people are going to go. But yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, we got. I mean, I see Husky saying this. Yes, I'm sure that'll be covered in a second. So let me boot one of these. Kick from studio. Oh shit! No, I don't want to kick Mighty Meat. Do
don't
I?
kick Mighty Meat.
No, but you're all three of you Mighty Meats. All of these are Mighty Meats.
Oh, here, let me get rid of this one.
Yeah, get rid of that. There we are, and I'll add this on stage. There you go. It's in your hands now, I believe. Can you click it and stuff? Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. So I went down through position groups because we haven't done this yet, and I wanted to.
Yeah.
Basically, I did grade best available, who will be taken first, how many will go in the first round, and who I think a steal of the draft will be for each position group. So I'll go ahead and start with the quarterbacks here. Not high on quarterbacks. I'm not a fan of this year's draft quarterbacks. So I gave it an overall D- in the position grade. I think that's generous. I think the best by far is Michael Penix Jr., most pro ready. Probably have the most success in this class. First taken is going to be obviously Caleb Williams. Although I've seen that, I've started seeing reports change, but I think again that's disinformation running rampant.
Who are they saying then? Who are they saying? If it's not Caleb, who are the people saying?
I saw JJ McCarthy.
Nah, it's not. Yeah, I mean that's not happening. So, yeah.
From CBS Sports today, put out a draft. McCarthy won.
No,
I hope the Bears do take JJ McCarthy, because then they'll be hell for years.
He suits the Vikings. He does not suit the Bears. So
True.
No, he's not going there. He's not going there.
So as you can see, first round quarterbacks, I project 4 to 6. I think that I've stepped down a little bit on that number, but I still think it's going to be unreasonably high.
So, but I'm not sure. What's your next slide? As in, are we just talking about quarterbacks and that's it, and then you move on to another position group?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, fine. Oh, okay, no, but before you go on to that, then who's the 4 6 and where they going?
I have Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Caleb Williams obviously are pretty close to locks. I think McCarthy is pretty close to a lock.
Yeah.
And then I can see other quarterbacks going, but that's why I went 4 on the low end, because I realistically think it's probably 4 the further we get into things. But I could see more going. I could see I'm not going to say that guy because Dave will get so excited, but
Yeah, I know.
I could see Penix, or I could see the other guy maybe sliding into that first round. It's going to depend. It's going to depend on how needy teams are and what they think and where they want to go with it. So, but I could see it either way.
I agree, and I think a lot of it depends how are they teams prepared to go up, come down. Do you know what I mean? I think the Broncos will want to go down, as in go back in the draft. And if they get into the 20s and say Bo or someone's there, I think they take him. I think it's a bad pick to take him at 12. I think they'll take him, but only if they go back and get some more capital. They got so many needs, man, at Denver. I know everyone's drafted him to Denver. It's like bloody hell. Someone was saying the other day about this. Patriots. So they were discussing it on some TV program, and they were saying, "What do you do? Do you put the quarterback in place first year, have no pieces around them, let them get hit, get hurt, similar to what they did to Mac Jones? First year he was outstanding, then he didn't have an offensive coordinator for the rest of his time, except for his last year. Nothing around him, all that crap. Or do you actually put the pieces in place first, get all the quality players you want, and then lastly put the quarterback in? Because the quarterback's only got a window of about 4 to 5 years where they're cheap. After that, you got to get rid of the pieces if they're any good, that is. So I could see more teams like Denver going, we're just going to go with Stidham, and we're just going to go, do you know what? We're just going to go and get the best players available and filter out for the next 2 to 3 years, and then we're going to get our quarterback. I think that's, in my opinion, that's the right move. And I think the Patriots, I know that they said, if we get 3 first-round picks, we'd definitely consider going back, type of thing, or get a haul. I think they want to go back. I genuinely do think they want to go back because Daniels or May, if they go there, they're gonna be beaten up. I think, in my opinion, because they've got nothing in place. So I don't know. That's my penny's worth anyway. So.
So there's. I'm trying to look. I forget where the hell Denver picks. They're 12? 12? Okay.
Yeah. After Vikings.
I just looking at a couple different mocks, and a lot of them have them moving down to 15 with Indy, and taking a quarterback.
Why are Indy going? Indy ain't moving.
Yeah.
Indy got no reason to move.
Right. Them taking Bowers in that one. See, some of these are just such trash. The Denver Broncos are going to take Byron Murphy second out of Texas.
Yeah.
I
only look at people like Dan Jeremiah and all those like Mel Kiper. I do look at his, but the only small amount of people I look at for that very reason. There's no logic behind any of their picks. They're just more than likely they are a Broncos fan and just going, I'm going to swap the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to go back 2 places and we're going to gain 20 first-round picks.
Right.
There's no logic behind any of it. So yeah, I don't. Whatever.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to tell. I think that I think quarterback is definitely going 1. I'm pretty sure that quarterback's going 2.
Yes.
And then I think 3's in play. I think 3's a trade target. And ultimately, I think quarterback's gone there. But I think 3's a definite trade target. So
I agree. I'm just not sure. I think the Patriots want out. But I think if they're there, they're going to take a quarterback. Because they have to. Do you know what I mean? They have to. but I don't think they want to. I think they want to go back. And even if they go back to like 6 or something, they'd be happy with that. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and I'll give you credit. Obviously, so you, Nathan, and everybody was saying about, like, we were talking about Kyler Murray, the Cardinals. I'd never heard of anything. Now all of a sudden we're hearing, oh, he might be gone from the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. There's lots of things that will happen on the night that we don't know. Look at Arizona Cardinals a couple of years ago when they drafted Hollywood Brown. Not drafted, sorry. Got Hollywood Brown. No one knew about it, and he was in Arizona meeting the fans. Do you know what I mean? When he was picked, it's like, so there's a lot of stuff going behind the scenes we're not privy to yet. So Dave, I love Dave. Right? Before we get to Dave,
there's not three. There's not three.
Treggin, talk space. Yes, I got 3 decks going in the first round. The center, quarterback, wide receiver. Dave.
1.
Dave. Yeah, Dave. That's just.
You get 1
I
of those.
I love Hamburger. I love him. He's just like, but he's a true fan. So it's for me. He's a true fan, and in his mind, 100% there's 3 going. There's no doubt. Do you know what I mean? They've got the best wide receiver, best quarterback, best center in Dave's mind. You know, so but yeah, that's kind of background.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting your flow, but I just want to. I'm intrigued. I want to go through some of this stuff. But you got this is interesting. I want to ask you this because you got it. Steal Michael Penix Jr. But how is he a steal?
Because I think he's the best quarterback in the class, and I think he's going to go in the second round.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, do you think that Washington's going to take him in the second round or second overall? What's that mean? Second round, second overall.
Oh no, I mean second round.
Joe, I'm a dummy. I thought Washington was a Washington Commander. So my bad. Sorry.
No,
I was like, whoa, you think he's going to go second round to Washington? Sorry.
No,
my bad.
The Huskies.
He's picking second. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I'm a dummy. Sorry.
No, he's not going second. He's probably late second rounder. But I think he's the best. I truly do think he's the best quarterback in the class, and I think he's going to have the most success. And I think somebody gets him with the steal. I think you could see a team like Denver taking him in the second round and being very happy with him, very, very happy with him. So
yeah, we got this Beaver going in the first round too. Who's the Beaver? The week is Detroit now. Oh God. I got before we move on from quarterbacks, but I got a couple of questions for you because you've analysed them and I haven't. But people are now speaking about like the Steeler draft being some, and I mean the Steeler draft, someone like Spencer Rattler, in like the 3rd or 4th round. Do you think that is
no?
Is he worthy of that?
No. Rattler is also a significant cancer to every locker room he's ever been in. I'm looking through. You have Jordan Travis, who I think is a talented person, but injury concerns. Rattler has been everywhere and nowhere. Michael Pratt from Tulane. I don't know.
There's some talk about him, but yeah.
Yeah. You have Tua's little brother, Talia, out of Maryland.
Where's he gonna go?
If he goes in the draft, I would probably be surprised. I think he'll be an undrafted free agent. Okay. But no, I think
he...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just on him because you mentioned it. Is there a chance maybe he goes to Miami? You know, with his brother. But is it a case of? I'm not asking this because I don't know, because obviously the scheme that they got for Tua, left-hander and stuff like that, and obviously his brother's a right-hander. So does that play into factors? Does that play a factor into it? Do you think Miami would prefer a left-hander for scheme-wise, or for, you know? I don't know the answer to that. I'm just, if you had any thoughts on it yourself.
Yeah. Well, as far as protections and stuff like that, obviously you would prefer a left-hander. I don't think that they're I mean, they're very rare. That's why people stay away from them. That's why, Michael Vick, Tua Tagovailoa was. They're special because you have to be worth moving your entire protection, moving your entire offensive line, doing all this. I mean, yeah, if you could get a guy that's comparable that has the opposite handedness, yeah, I would take him. But they're just few and far between. So,
Yeah. Sorry, any others you could think of?
So I think Tua. I'm looking at the ratings. So Talia is 234th total draft board rated. So 7th maybe. Somebody might get a little, I don't know, but he's saw him play some of the teams since Maryland's in the Big Ten. He's okay. He's nothing special. There's actually 2 guys underneath him, considerably underneath him. One's at number 302 and one's at 367 that I like better than Pratt, Rattler, Travis, all those guys combined. I really think that Kedon Slovis might be the sleeper out of BYU.
Yeah.
And then I really like Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky. I don't think he's going to be some world beater winning Super Bowls and MVPs, but I think he's a good guy to have for one, backup purposes, and 2, scout teams for when you got it, when you're playing a team like Baltimore or Kansas City. He throws the ball and can move. I mean, he'd be a great scout team quarterback, a great backup. But I really like Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky. So
I want to throw 2 names at you then. I agree with Slovis. I think he's underrated. I do like him. 2 names. One, Sam Hartman. What do you think? I don't rate him. I don't. I think he's probably a good locker guy, but I don't think he's gonna make it in the NFL. What's your thoughts on him before I say the other name? My Wildy.
Hartman. I think Hartman's very JJ McCarthy like.
Okay.
Both were in great programs with everything around them, and obviously JJ won the national championship, which will get taken away after these sanctions come down next week. But for now, he won the games to get it done. No, I think he had everything around him and wasn't able to be great at a college level. So I don't see him making a jump when you have far less resources in an NFL level to be a great quarterback. So,
right. Well, the other guy, I love this guy. I'm about to tell you now, right? I'm not sure if he's going to get drafted. I don't think he will get drafted, right? But if he does, it'll be in the 7th round. But I love him. His name is John Reese Plumley. I think if he can get drafted somewhere, he is a weapon because he's a okay quarterback. He's not like an outstanding quarterback, but he's lightning. He's lightning in the bottle. So he's also a wide receiver. So he played a season or 2 as a wide receiver. So he's a 4-star recruit. Went to Ole Miss. Started, got injured. Corral was a starter. Then he came in. Then Corral beat him out. So John Reese Plumley then became a wide receiver. Electric. I'm not saying he's not the best wide receiver or anything, or he's not. But it's like he's got the gas, he's got the legs, he's fantastic. He's dual sport. He plays baseball and football. He then transferred to, I think it's FSU, Florida. No, is it FSU? It's not FSU. It's F something. One of the smaller Florida colleges, anyway. And he was a starter there for 2 years as a quarterback. Again, nothing like, I wouldn't draft him as a quarterback, but I would draft him as a dual threat, as in You could line him up outside. You could make him a wide receiver. He's tough as nails. He'd catch a great ball. Also, you could play him in, and he can come in as quarterback. So I see a little bit of Taysom Hill in him, as in
Yeah.
that's what I mean about him. I'm not selecting him as a quarterback. I'm selecting him as a multi-purpose player, and I think and also he's talented. He's a four-star recruit. He had a few things go wrong for him, and he's dual sport as well, baseball and American football. American football and football. So if you don't know him, take a look at him. I like him. I like him a lot. So
Okay.
I think he's going to go undrafted, but he'll be somebody that an Andy Reid or Sean Payton, that kind of way they want to utilize people. I think they're going to like him. So yeah.
A gadget player, a utility player. I was thinking Taysom Hill when you started talking. So yeah, like kind of the Taysom Hill type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, still think it's probably the worst quarterback class that I've seen in a really long time. But yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair. I was going through the names. I do know. Is it? It's quite a few long years ago since there was a bad one, but not that long ago either. I don't remember what year it was. There was a year where there was hardly any gone in the top 10 or something. So yeah, I got you. But then speak to the analysts, and they all are raving about Caleb Williams and all that. So they all think the top three are just like going to be the difference. But to be quite honest, until they strap up in the NFL, I don't know, because look at Mahomes. People didn't rate Mahomes, and he came in. Look at him now. Justin Herbert. I didn't. People said, "Oh, he can't play in the NFL." He's great. So I don't. And people they say that I could be great in the NFL are probably the ones that are shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be one or two players that make it, but no more than two. As you always say, they won't make a second contract. I mean, so
yeah. No, I think it's definitely down here for quarterback, but let's move on to running backs.
sorry, yeah, we spend way too much time on that one, but
no, I mean quarterbacks is always a hot topic. You're going to get a bunch of them. So running backs, I give them an overall grade of C. There's nobody that really stands out. I think your best available is Trey Benson out of Florida State. I like the kid. He's fast. He's gritty. I think probably your first taken is going to be Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas. He's on the younger side, sophomore. Decent, but nothing. There's just nothing there to write home about. First round, I lean towards nobody will be taken, but I think you'll probably see one come off the board. There's grumblings of one coming off the board. And it will be one of those late picks from one of those contender teams that just needs somebody else in the backfield. Somebody like I don't know. I don't even know where he would go, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was one that came off the board. But yeah, nobody really special. I really like Isaiah Davis, 7th round out of South Dakota State University. I don't even know that he's ranked on NFL's website, but I like the kid.
What about? Oh, I mean, there's no one there. Okay, I know. What about the Michigan one? Is he coming out? Because he's supposed to be really good, isn't he?
Blake Corum. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't really ask you, should I?
Blake is.
He's shit. He's shit. He'll be undrafted.
Blake is. I see him realistically. I see him in the 3rd, 4th round. I think he's going to be. Yeah, Blake Corum. Yeah, I think he'll be a 3rd or 4th rounder. He's undersized. And he doesn't do anything well enough. He does some things well. He's gritty as hell. I'll give him that. He fights for every yard. He doesn't do anything exceptional. He's not an exceptional pass catcher. He's not exceptional between the tackles, and he really can't get outside of them. I mean, he's a good running back. I don't think he's a world-beating running back.
I can't wait until Brad Holmes puts the card in like the
No.
third round. Goes Blake Corum. There we are. He's gritty. He's exactly what you want. He's
Have you seen our running back room? We're just fine at
yeah,
running back.
yeah, but competition. No, that's fair. I don't know much about him. I just know the name and stuff. That's all. That's why I was going to ask. But do you not think though? Right, I agree with you. By the way, I don't. I go philosophy of I think you can get a really good running back in second, third, fourth round. I think there's so many around and they're disposable. But like Brad Holmes did say not long ago in an interview saying, well, I don't look at him as a running back. It's dual threat, utility
Yeah.
players and stuff like that. So if you can catch and you can run on the outside and stuff like that, then you're no longer looked as a running back. I don't think you are more of a dual threat, and that's where Bijan Robinson comes into it as well. I'm not the guy that you selected last year in the first. So as long as you can, catch it and be a wide receiver and run it, I think you will go first round. But if you can just run it, I think
Mhm.
you're done for. I don't think you're going to go very high, and I think in this day and age you have to be able to catch that ball. I'm surprised how many people can't. Which
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but I'll throw another play at you though, because you might know him as well. That he was a
Uh-huh.
lot of talking out. He was coming out of high school. He was the big guy on campus. He was a guy that was a top recruit. I think he was like number one running back in the nation, and I think he was like top 10 overall. The guy from Clemson, don't remember his name, but the guy from Clemson, he was a big deal.
Shipley?
But I don't. Yeah, that's the one. But
Yeah.
I've never heard about him since then. I mean, I don't hear anything about him. But he was the big guy that everyone wanted. So, what do you think
He's
about him?
uh, so CBS has Blake Corum 9 and Will Shipley 10, and then they're flipped on ESPN as far as draft rankings, where they have Shipley 9 and Corum 10. I think they're the same player. Um,
Okay.
nothing exceptional about them. They're both undersized. I mean, Blake Corum is 5'8". Will Shipley's 5'10". So they're both kind of undersized for playing that outside game, and I think weapon is more important than you're not getting Derrick Henry's where you're just handing the ball and running off tackle anymore. You got to have all those aspects of the game, and that's why I picked the two guys that I did, Jonathan Brooks and Trey Benson, because I think both of them have that ability to get outside, to catch the ball, do those kinds of things. So
Yeah, fair. No, fair. I just want to know about him because he was he was a big name back in the day. Who everyone was saying he's going to make it big. He's going to be, the guy to watch. So I don't know. I haven't kept track of him. I've seen him play a couple of times,
yeah,
but yeah, there you
yeah.
go.
All right, so on to wide receivers. Best category in the class. I absolutely love the wideouts in this year's draft. Most, if not all of them, A plus, easy. Best available is undoubted Marvin Harrison Jr. First taken is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. First round, I see on the low end 6, on the high end 8, taken in the first round. And I think there's so many steals in this draft. I think Marvin Harrison at 4 is a true steal. I think he's the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
I think Malik Neighbors at 5 is a steal. I think when you get down to Xavier Worthy at he's projected end of first, early part of second. I think that's a steal.
I've seen
Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State. I think if you're getting him mid-second, that's a steal.
Apparently, he's a bit of a dickhead, though. No one wants him. As in, although I've read about him, he's getting bad reviews about his
Yeah,
personality. Keon.
yeah.
Um, people don't like him, bad in the locker room and stuff like that. So he might be impacted.
Yeah. Hella talented, but we saw that here in East Lansing, and then he left for Florida State. So
it might be you who said, it might be you that mentioned it. I've heard it a few places, but the only thing I agree with everything you said. By the way, I don't think there's much to debate here. I think you're right. In the first round, you can speak about the others now, but you can go on to Jalen in a second. But before you go there, if this happens, so Danny Jeremiah thinks the first 4 picks are all quarterbacks in the draft. So if that happens, you then go to the Chargers at 5, right?
Mhm.
Harbaugh is on record saying the best, most important, without question, position is O-line, and there's lots of talk that he's going to go O-line first in the draft. He cannot go first O-line if Harrison Jr. drops to him, or can he?
I don't think he can go if Malik Neighbors is still there. I see probably the most likely scenario for the Chargers is to move back.
I think they want to. I think they want to.
Yeah,
it's whether people will.
Right. I think that's a great place for Minnesota to jump up. Fuck it. I will go on record that the Arizona Cardinals will take Marvin Harrison Jr. 100% guaranteed, no matter what. 4 is going to be the Arizona Cardinals taking the best player in the draft. Guaranteed.
That's fair.
Nothing
else. I just think I'm not sure because if you're offered number 11, number 23, and next year's first round, is that not a little bit tempting?
Not when Marvin's there. Not when Marvin's there. Not to me.
No, it's just a question. Is he that much better than someone that you can maybe get at 11?
I think so.
Receiver? That you said, because if the quarterback goes 4, say for instance 5, say Harrison goes 5, 6 is New York, they take a wide receiver, 7 is Titans, I think they will take an O-lineman, 8 is, I don't know, I generally don't know, 9 I think is Chicago, they probably take a wide receiver if they're still there, 10 is New York Jets, I don't know who they take. Is number 11, you then got either Brock Bowers or the number 4 wide receiver. And that's where I'm at. Is the number 4 wide receiver that far less down? Like, is it whoever you got number 4? Is it not worth having that player plus a 23rd round pick and plus another first rounder? So you got 2 first rounders next year. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know who you got number 4, by the way. I don't know, but
so everybody might say I'm high or make fun of me for this take, but here's how I see it. Marvin Harrison Jr. is at 10, and the next player, regardless of position, starts at 7 and goes down. That's how much I think of Marvin Harrison Jr. He is one hell of a route runner. He can catch anything that's thrown to him. He has the lineage and he can play ball. And that's what you see with these. You see guys that can run routes and catch the football in the second level or in this next level, the NFL level, that make a significant difference. I truly think that he is a 10 and everybody else is a 7 or less. And I wouldn't. It would take a king's ransom for me to move out of 4, staring at Marv. So.
If you don't ask questions, we don't learn. With that, the only thing I'd push back on that is then if he's that good, then why aren't Chicago taking him 1? Why didn't Chicago stick with Fields? I mean, because I don't think Fields and Caleb Williams, there's that much difference between them. The only major difference is probably the contract. But I'm just thinking, if he's genuinely that good, then why is he not going number 1? Again, just throwing that out there. Maybe they just think Caleb is better. So, and maybe Harrison is better, but they just want that better quarterback. I don't know, but
Garbage organization. Bears and Washington both cut and run way too quick. Haven't had a good track record, and I don't think they're great at evaluating talent. And if you really think that Justin Fields is the problem, then you're not going to take a wide receiver to waste talent pick, all that. You got to have your quarterback in place, and I understand that. To a point, I still think he's the best player, and I still think that Marvin could land in New England. I think New England could just say, "The hell with it." I still think New England wants out of that pick. I really do. And that could be a wild card, but I think that there's an opportunity that Harrison goes there. I think it's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I thought you were done. Sorry. Carry on.
I think quarterback is incredibly overvalued, and I think that we're building a team. We need a quarterback, and I'm all right with building it up and taking your guy later if you need it. So.
Well, that's what I was posing at the start. Which was best, and I agree with you. I think quarterback should be the last piece, in my opinion. The only thing I push back on you here is this, right? You are guaranteeing that Arizona Cardinals are taking Harrison at 4, and if they can't get a trade partner, they obviously they will. But this is the Cardinals, mate. This is not like a great organization who will make smart decisions and stuff like that. This is an organization that has Michael Bidwell as their owner, and Michael Bidwell is not a great owner, in my opinion. He's okay, but he's not a massively great owner. I know the GM did well last year, getting picks and stuff like that, but do you trust them that much to not take 3 picks? You wave 3 picks in front of a GM, they're drooling because ultimately they got more to play with. And I'm sure the head coach, Gannon, wants Mark Harrison. I'm sure he'd be like, yes, let's get fucking. But the GM's like, no, so I will take 3 picks because at the end of the day, it's your job to make the better head coach. But look at me, I've got all these deals in place. I don't know, is he going to be that selfish as a GM? I don't know.
Well, here's the good part with shit organizations. The one thing that's like candy to them is a sexy pick. If this was the best, if this was Quentin Nelson, the guard that went to Indy a couple of years ago, no, they don't make that pick. But being that it's a wide receiver, yeah, I think they do. I think even they can't screw this up.
Okay, we'll see. Well, I mean, this is the beauty we get to see. So, that's good. Okay, sorry, I'd like to jump in and wreck your flow.
No, you're totally good. But yeah, just to touch on some of the other guys, I mean, wide receivers are just, you have Malachi Corley out of Western Kentucky. Love the guy. This is a public service message to William Clay Ford Jr., the 7th, or whoever the hell owns the Lions at this point, or whoever's running the Lions. I know who owns them, but and Brad Holmes, please do not take Xavier Leggett. I do not want that guy at all. He's a wide receiver out of South Carolina, 6'3", 227, big guy, big body guy, does not give a damn. Takes plays off all the time. He doesn't want to be there. I want none of that. None of that here.
They won't take him. I think that Brad Holmes is a good scout. I mean, I think they've got good scouts there in Detroit. And I think if you can see him taking off plays, I think they'll be able to see that he's taking off plays, and no one wants that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm confident that he will. I'd laugh if they do, but I'm confident that he will take him. But quick question again for you about the Lions then, because we're just there. Did he get a new contract? Your wide receiver?
Not yet. Goff or St. Brown, neither one of them. June 1st is the new contract date, though, so we shouldn't see any. Like, we might start hearing things, but June 1st is the new deadline. So, So for money, the sake of money, it's better to sign him post June 1st. So.
Cool.
All right. So we'll go to tight end group. I think it's a talented tight end group. I don't know. Brock Bowers is kind of I think he's overvalued at the tight end position. We've seen that the last couple of drafts. What's his name doing down in Atlanta? Not much. Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
So I don't advocate taking a tight end in the first round.
I think they're probably the next running backs. This group.
Yeah.
I think you can get great ones in the second, third, fourth, fifth round. So.
No, I'd agree with you. Once you get out of that, we're going to take Brock Bowers in the first round, maybe the top 10. I think the group is outstanding. I think your best available is Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is obviously going to be taken in the first round. I think I'm pretty confident taking all those to the bank. My steal of the draft, this was the hardest one to come up with a steal because there's so many that are decent out there. Cade Stover, maybe in the third round, guy at Ohio State. Same exact size as Brock Bowers, kind of the same athlete. You have guys like Jaheim Bell out of Florida State that I really like. You have Eric All out of Iowa, tight end the Iowa Hawkeyes. You have Brevin Spann-Ford out of Minnesota. Like, it's just littered with guys. Trey Knox out of South Carolina. There are a lot of guys that I think are going to play on Sundays and can be decent tight ends coming up. So,
okay, I agree with you. From what I've seen, there's one guy. I'm not sure if you got him down. Phil ex Boston College quarterback / Pittsburgh quarterback, now turned into a wide receiver / tight end. Phil Djokovic. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
So he was a Boston College quarterback for 3 or 4 years. Talented guy. I thought he was going to go make the draft. Went to Pittsburgh. Did not play well. Did not play well whatsoever. Then converted into a wide receiver / tight end in Pittsburgh. Only we played for maybe played 4 or 5 games, but he's out of eligibility, so he's entering the draft now. So what I was wondering if you'd heard of him, seen him. I've not. I saw a picture of him in his pro day, but I've not heard anything about him because there's something to be said, I think, about a quarterback and the quarterback's brain. But I don't know if he has all the tangibles to be a tight end. But I think he'd be a tight end and not a wide receiver. But yeah, there's that. Someone for you to look at as well. Just take a look at him, see what you think, if there's anything out there about him, because all his tape is going to be quarterback related. But
right,
yeah, you might hear some rumors or something about him. Again, he's going to go undrafted, but he could be somebody to me because it's nice to have a quarterback brain. He's a smart guy, and he's going to Boston College, so he must be quite smart.
Yeah, he is ranked 485 on the list of prospects. So
here we are.
Definitely not going to get drafted.
No.
But yeah, I'll look into him for sure. So
I don't think there's any tape. I'm not sure if there's any tape whatsoever. He's only done it for half a season, but just someone unusual. So I mean, someone unusual out there. So.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at him. Interior offensive line, the big guys in the middle. I think it's an okay. I put that one up there for Dave, but I think Dave's gone. Overall grade, I think it is a B on interior offensive line, which is unfortunate because the Lions could really use a guy. God, there's some good players here though that are. I think your best available is Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. I think your first taken is another guy from the Pac-12, Troy Anatua. I don't know how to say his name.
Mhm.
I said 1. I don't mean it. I think 1 to 3, probably realistically. I think we could see a couple interior offensive linemen off the board, which gets kind of odd because some of them are tackles that are moving, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. But I could see, I mean, there's a guy like Christian Haynes that's out of UConn that looks good. Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State looks great. Cedric Van Ganger out of Georgia. 6'4", 310, can move, really athletic. I really like the guy. But draft's just filled with those kind of guys. Christian Mahogany looks great.
What was the guy called that you wanted for the Lions, or you said I wouldn't mind him, but he's like a proper English name, Greg or something.
It's not a proper
Oh,
English name. Graham
no,
Barton.
that's one, Graham. That's proper
Mhm.
English, Graham Barton.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
not
that's the
Greg.
one. No, it wasn't. I think it was started like a G or something. I said Greg, but I didn't mean Greg. But yeah, do you think where do you think he's going? I know you speak highly of him.
Uh, hopefully number 29 to the Detroit Lions. He is officially listed in the draft as an offensive tackle. So our next
Oh,
category.
sorry.
Um,
I thought he was a guard.
no,
Sorry, my bad.
no, you're totally fine. So it gets. They probably should just put them all in one category at this point because they're getting very close. But uh, yeah, we'll go to tackle and then we'll kind of talk about both of them. I think the offensive tackle class is great. I think Alumia Fashanu out of Penn State is probably your best available. I think your first taken is going to be Joe Alt because of the lineage out of Notre Dame. I think this is on the higher end. You mix it with the previous pick and who's a tackle, who's not a tackle. I think you see 8 of these offensive linemen off the board in the first round. I think it might be the most drafted position being offensive line that we can see. Really like Christian Jones in the second out of Texas. I also obviously like Graham Barton. I'm seeing more and more that he's getting pushed down, and I'm like, hell yeah, give me more, give me more. But I think ultimately he goes 29. There's also guys like Amarius Mims, J.C. Latham, Fuga out of Oregon State. There's just a lot of guys to choose from, and I think it's a really good class for tackle. So
Yeah, I know. I've heard of Fashu Alt, and there's another one I've heard of as well. There's a couple more, I think. Oregon State, I believe. Don't remember his name. And there's another one that I believe is in the mix with Fashionu and Alt. I don't remember his name though.
that's a guy at Oregon State. Fuga is right up there with Alton Fashanu and
Must be
Mims,
that one.
Amarius Mims out of Georgia.
Mims. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the Oklahoma one? It's an Oklahoma one, Sooners one. That
Guyton,
people speak very highly.
Ty
Who?
Guyton.
Okay,
That
yeah, I
guy.
don't know. I know they speak very highly of him anyway. And I don't know his name. Whether he's going to be first round, second round, I'm not sure
Yeah.
what they were talking about him.
So I see 6 that are kind of interchangeable. I know when we first started doing the channel, and then when we first started doing the draft, I said just insert random Alabama offensive tackle here, and that guy ended up being J.C. Latham.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
always a big guy from Alabama. But I think it's
No,
a
you're right.
great group, great class, and there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be around for a good amount of time that are hanging out here in the league. So
So you want Gray Burton, but if you know, is it anyone like say now Joe Alt Fashanu, the Oregon State guy goes, um, is there anyone that the Lions are going to go up for that is worthy of going up after those three have gone? Is there anyone do you think? Oh, I wish. Say that it's like pick 20. Like, oh, all the others are still there. Is there anybody you think, wow, we got to go up and get him?
Not. No. No, I don't.
No,
Because
fine.
so the problem is that you have so Fashao and Alt, Fuga, Mims, Latham, Guyton. Those are all true tackles, and they're probably all going to be true left tackles. So your first best guy that's not a true left tackle is going to be Barton, or Jackson Powers Johnson. Fountain.
Who was he play for? Jackson Powers Johnson. I've heard the name.
I think some dead ducks, but I don't know.
Oh, sorry. No, Joe. Sorry. That I genuinely heard the name. I wasn't taking the piss either. I wasn't saying.
Oh,
I've heard that name before. I thought, where have I heard it before? It's a Ducks, Oregon.
Yeah.
Fine, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So based on two things. One, because you have Kevin Zeitler that you signed from the Baltimore Ravens, I don't think you're in desperate need. I also there's also a lot of guys that I like. He's my first. Graham is my first. But you also have Christian Haynes, Cooper Beebe, Cedric Van Prank Granger, who you can get back in the second or third round easily. So I wouldn't move for an offensive tackle. I wouldn't move at all. I like where we're at.
They fall to you. Well,
right.
Who's Graham Barton play for? I forgot who he plays for. Where's he from?
Duke.
Sorry, I thought. Oh, yeah. For some reason, I wasn't sure. Cool. No, that sounds like a plan, though. Yeah, there's some teams that are desperate. I don't think the Lions are desperate though for an lineman.
No.
You know, that's one place I think they're quite solid. You know, so you wouldn't be unhappy if they picked an lineman with the Lions or best player available, essentially.
No, I think we could go corner. I think they could go offensive line or wide receiver, and I would be happy as clam. I would again prefer that they move back into the second round, but I like the fifth year option on the first, so might be something. But
yeah, but also it's a good spot to be in, because if you are looking for a quarterback, a team looking for a quarterback, then why not? You know, it's a good trading position to be in with Detroit. Yeah, the 5th-year contract's great, but you'd rather have picks. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'll throw this out to you though. This is why I asked for the contracts and stuff. But is there any chance that Detroit takes a quarterback?
No.
Not there, but I mean, would they not go back in second round maybe and get one?
No, I think we're set up. They really like Jared Goff, and we also took
and then Hooker
last year.
Yeah.
And I know they really like Hendon. So I think our quarterback room's set up for 4 or 5 years, and I think there's definite other bigger needs where I couldn't see them doing something like that. So
yeah, cool.
I also don't think anybody's good enough, but now we go to the defensive side of the ball, buddy.
You. I've heard a lot
edge.
about Dallas Turner. Yeah, Dallas Turner. Go
on. I think Dallas Turner is much as guys similar to him were Chase Young, blah, blah, blah. Probably a talented player at a position that's going very way of the running back-ish. That edge rusher. I think anybody can do it, and you're getting more emphasis, so you're getting more talent developed, and you're getting more people that play the position. So it's easier to find a guy. So I think we'll see them start dropping back and not being as valuable in drafts. With that being said, Dallas Turner, I think he's a great football player. I just think he's in a position that's expendable. Not expendable. I mean, it's a position you need, but it's a position where you can do it without spending a top 5 pick. So
I think that becomes true now. Look at Clowney, look at Chase Young and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? They've ruined the edge position in a lot of ways. I mean, they're disastrous, both of them. So they've ruined it, in my opinion. If you take an edge in the first top 5 now, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because they're not worth it. There's proof of that now. They're not. Even JJ Watt was even picked of 11 or something. You know, I think he can wait. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Dallas will go top 10. I don't think it's going to go top 5, but I think he's your best available pass rusher. I don't think there's much daylight and space between him and a guy like Jared Verse or Latai Latau, or even Chop Robinson or Darius Robinson further down the board. So I don't think he's worth going all out on. I think they'll ultimately be those 5 gentlemen will be taken in the first round down to Darius Robinson.
Chop Robinson. I've heard the name. I don't remember where though.
Penn State.
Penn State. There we are. Before I looked at it, yeah, everyone else because people saying versus. Some people say versus could be 1, Turner 2, and then obviously you have it the other way. A lot of people have it your way as well. Turner and verse. Some people say it's like 1A, 1B between them both. So, but as you said, there's not much daylight between them. Whatever happens, you know. So I think it just depends on attitude, how they come off the tape. So a lot of these things, obviously, you're basing this on tape, whereas the teams get to see the person and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a surprise if first went first and then Turner went second. There's not much between them, is there? So, well, from what I gather, so. Okay. I'm interested to see your steal though.
So before we get to that, so I'm looking at a collection of mock drafts just to see, and they're one of them. It looks like the first one's going to come off the board. It's going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. I think it depends on, do you want a guy that's eventually going to be an outside linebacker? Because if you want that outside linebacker hybrid true edge, or hybrid edge, I think you want a guy like Dallas Turner. If you want a true edge that is just an Aiden Hutchinson like edge, I think you want Jared Verse. So I think that's your difference. Which guy do you want? Both of them play the same position, but I think Xavier Thomas. I think he's.
I jumped there, but I've heard this. He's a good player. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I like this.
6'2", 245, kind of undersized for the prototypical defensive end, but I really like the guy. I think he's a high motor guy that looks like he can play ball. Comes from a place where pass rushers are kind of born and bred, and I'm excited about it. So,
because he was with KJ Henry, who's now with Washington. Brian Breeze last year as well. Now with the Saints, and that's how I got to hear the name and got to see him play. I'm just surprised you think he's going to fall to the 7th round. If he falls to 7th, that's a steal. And you know what, he probably will. As 5th, 6th, 7th. Do you know what I mean? I'm just surprised. I hadn't thought about him falling to the 7th round. But yeah.
So the NFL has him at 247th, and CBS has him at 274. So kind of backwards, but both in that maybe not even get drafted territory. But yeah, I think he's going to be the steal on edge.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be day 3. You don't get me wrong, but to see it down there, he's very good. From what I've seen, so yeah, that's a good pick by you. That is.
Yeah, I like him. So then we go to the big guys in the middle, defensive line.
Wow.
I think. Wow, what?
I just seen what you did here.
Oh.
I think people are gonna rip you apart for this one.
So I think the first taken is Byron Murphy II out of Texas. But I think the best guy here is Michael Hall Jr. out of the Ohio State University. Again, I think it depends on what philosophy you're in. Michael Hall, 6'2", 280. He's more of that new age tackles going to could play end. We're getting away from those guys that are, like what's his name from New England, Will Forks, the 420-pound guy in the middle that's clogging up space. We're getting towards more athletic, more exploitable tackles like a Michael Hall Jr. And I think he's I think he's going to be the best, most successful out of the class. I don't think there's a single D tackle that goes in the first round. I could be wrong on that.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
You have Byron Murphy II. You have Johnny Newton, Braden Fisk, Michael Hall. They all could. I think there are better positions and better players out there. Just personally.
Yeah. No, but you just said it. It depends on who falls off where. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. There's not going to be many. I just thought Byron Murphy would. I thought he was a lock for the first round. That's why I think most people got him a lock as a first round. So that's why I thought, whoa, no way. But it all depends. It all depends on how many quarterbacks go, what best players available. So you're completely right. We can't take every player in the first round, so somebody's going to miss out, or maybe it is this group if they are that close. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But I could be wrong. There could be a run on them because I know that CBS Sports has Marshawn Kneeland as the 92nd best player, 9th best defensive tackle out of Western Michigan. And he's been mocked more than once and been talked about locally and received a first-round interview with the Detroit Lions. So could be way off, but this is just my feeling on the defensive tackle position in this year's draft. So like Wingo out of LSU in that 4th, 5th round, I think he's going to be a decent player in the NFL as well. So
don't know much about D-line, so I can't critique it. I just know about Byron Murphy, and that's about it, really.
Yeah. Linebackers. I love this linebacking class. Absolutely love it. I would have had the grades been a little bit better, I would have rated it a hell of a lot higher. But the linebacker doesn't have the same utility that it used to, and people aren't taking linebackers in the first round. So I had to go with the trends. I don't think any go in the first round. I think they should. I like Edgerrin Cooper, who I think will be the first round taken out of Texas A&M. Love Jeremiah Trotter Jr. If he's there in the 3rd, I hope the Lions run that card up so fast. Holy hell. Peyton Wilson out of NC State. You have Teron Hopper out of Missouri. You have Junior Colson out of those gross, nasty people down the road. And Ann Arbor. Jalen Ford out of Texas. I mean, there's just a lot of really good linebackers, and my steal, a guy you can get in the 5th, and if I think they'd all be steals based on where they're projected to go, but I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. could be your steal. Lions, if you want to take him in the 3rd, but if not, and you miss out on him, I really like Tommy Eichenberg out of Ohio State in the 5th round or 6th round. So
Eichenberg, he transferred from Alabama, if I'm correct, to OSU because I'm pretty sure he's got a twin brother that plays O-line, I believe. They're both ranked. I remember they both ranked very highly whenever they came in. So is his brother not going in the draft then?
Didn't his brother get drafted last year?
I have no idea. I have no idea,
could have been.
to be honest.
I think it was last year he got drafted.
Don't
He was
remember
an
the name of
offensive
it.
lineman out of
He was.
Notre Dame, right?
No, Alabama. Unless
Oh,
he
okay.
transferred. No, I think he stuck with Alabama. Tommy transferred because he wasn't getting playing time, but his brother, I believe, was a starter.
Okay.
Um,
You could certainly be right.
I'll Google it now. Hang on. So I remember it anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
Tommy Eckenberg.
I don't remember his first name.
Liam Eichenberg.
Okay.
Oh, you were right. Sorry, you were right. Yeah, no, you were right. You were right.
Notre
Notre
Dame, right?
Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right.
Yep.
Sorry, my bad. Oh, who's the brothers then in Alabama? I thought it was these ones. It's not. It's not. But yeah, you were completely right. Because I know one of the brothers has transferred to OSU, so that's why I was like, "Oh, this is him." But it's
Gotcha.
not. It's a different set. So sorry. Apologies. I am wrong. You're right. Second round. Yeah, but Miami Dolphins. Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
There we are. He seems to be doing well for himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's the center. His brother's a center for the Dolphins. So
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was right, but I couldn't remember. I wasn't
oh, you're 100%
strong
right.
enough. But yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on the linebacker class or move to corner?
Not really. I mean, there's a few standouts, but nothing that I'm like, I don't know. There's no big names, I don't think, in this one. Normally, you might have a big name or what at least one, but I don't think there is any this year. I don't think there's a massive standout. Um, I think there are I think the group is very strong, but as a whole, they're very strong. So I don't think you're gonna hate whoever you get. Is my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right. Corners.
You
I
like the so before you go into it, is this corners and safeties or just corners?
just corners.
Fine.
So I split up the defensive back. We'll get into safeties too, but your guy is here in the corner category for most of the purpose. DeJean. Cooper DeJean out of Iowa.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, the white one.
Mhm. Yeah, he's listed as a corner as far as the draft. But again, it's one of those combined defensive back spots.
Yeah.
So I think this. I went back and forth, and we've talked about this before. I think there are, when you're talking about Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, I think they're all so close, so very close, like really close. So it's hard to pick a best available, but and I legitimately picked it because of his name. His name's Kool-Aid. Like, how can you
Yeah.
not? How is that not awesome?
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think Quinyon Mitchell is the first taken. I think he goes to Indianapolis. I've seen
Yeah.
that over and over again, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
have
you're in
as
love
well.
with them. So,
Yeah.
I think 5 get taken in the first round. I think it's probably the
I
second
think
strongest position group. So,
in fairness to you, you said 4 last time,
Mhm.
but you also had the safety as well. So it was technically
Yeah.
5, I believe you had. So you are moved basically. You're still the same.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that, yeah, and I messed up on the next slide. So, well, maybe I didn't. We'll get to the next one.
Oh,
I'm looking at it. So Josh Newton, I think your steal. I think he's I think he's a better than average corner out of TCU. I think he plays a lot of football in the NFL. But yeah, I think anybody looking for a corner is going to be pleasantly happy with this year's draft.
Mm.
So
I think that's why I was pushing back on earlier on when people said the mock was the Indianapolis Colts going to go up. I don't see the Indianapolis Colts going up, but swapping Broncos because yes, they won Quinn and Mitchell, I believe, but they got to go corner. I think the Colts are, but they got like 4 or 5 to pick from, so they're all right. If anything,
right.
they're going to go back, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, there's just not. I mean, your top 3 corners listed on the board are all 6 foot 196, 196 pounds, 6 foot tall. All similar ages, all very similar grades. Like your top 3 are literally the same exact person over and over again. So, there's not much different. I wouldn't be going up for a corner, but yeah, I think it's a talented class and probably the second best position group in this year's draft. So we'll add in the safety. Best available, Tyler Nubin. First taken will be Tyler Nubin. And I put 0 because, like you said, there's a it's much like the offensive line or defensive line where
the same, yeah.
DBs get kind of switched between. So I think there'll be 5 between the corner and safety position.
Yeah.
You know, and so you have I like them top to bottom. So you have guys like Tyler Nubin who, if the Lions don't go guard or see value in guards later in the draft, you take a guy like Nubin here. But you have Kamar Kitchens, you have Jalen Simpson out of Auburn, Cole Bishop from Utah, and Bo Braid from Maryland, Josh Proctor out of Ohio State. Like there are plenty of talented guys, and that goes for both sides of the defensive back room. Both are really talented, and I think ultimately Nubin goes in the second round, and I think he's a steal there. I think he's one of the top safeties in the league for a very long time. So
I don't have anything. The only safety I knew, to be quite honest with you, was the one that you spoke about last time. I did look at all the cornerbacks. I don't see any difference between any of them.
right,
And everybody's grades are basically the same. So
yeah,
yeah,
no, I
sorry,
agree.
crack on.
No, you're good. So those are position groups. I did not do kickers because kickers are not players.
What the fuck?
Fuck off, kickers.
Pat McAfee. I'm gonna phone Pat McAfee now. Pat McAfee, what the fuck's going on here?
There's not. I mean, Reichard out of Alabama, and then punters. I mean, I don't see a single kicker punter drafted this year. There's just nobody that really stands out.
No.
There are only 2 ranked kickers in the top 500, and that is Torrey Taylor out of Iowa and Ryan Reckow out of BYU. I mean, I don't see a single kicker being drafted.
There's a lot of
this
them
year.
undrafted last year that didn't get a shot, and they're better. And there were some quality punters and kickers last year that didn't even get drafted, and they're not even in the league anymore. You got Drew Chrisman, in Cincinnati, who I think is a very good punter. He played for Cincinnati. Another kick with a Michigan punter came in, took the position, and Drew can't even get a team anymore. So it's like, and he's a really good punter. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of punters out there out of a job ahead of this draft, I think. So yeah, I got you. I got you there.
Yeah, but so I think we have one last thing, unless you had something to add, and then
Not with the draft I have. I got one more thing to add, yes, but not the draft.
yeah, not with the draft. So I guess we'll just go. I don't know if you've heard it. It seems like bullshit, but the Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Dallas, allegedly.
I know they're moving, or allegedly they're moving, but I haven't heard Dallas. I've not heard
Yeah.
Dallas.
Um,
I'm not surprised it's Dallas though, because they're from Dallas. The family are, so that's where they live.
Jerry Jones said, "Hell no." That's all I know.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
So,
The Hunt family, they're from Dallas. They live in Dallas. I'm not shocked that they want to go there. I'm not surprised that Jerry Jones said fuck no either. You know what I mean? Because he wants the whole Dallas region to himself.
Mhm.
How much pull is that going to be? You know, a lot, I think, because Jerry's got a lot of pull in the league. So, look, I've heard about expansions. There's going to be a team in Orlando. There's going to be um, team in Munich, team in London, team in Mexico. So I can't see them putting another team in Dallas
Mhm.
before those teams are there. Do I think that Kansas City going to lose them? Yes, because unless they get a new stadium, they're gone. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, and they voted no, so to the new stadium or to pay for it. So I won't be surprised if they're gone. You know, as simple as that. But it's just where I would be surprised if it was to Dallas though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, and Dave and Bugger's back, Shower's back. Dave, you missed the whole fucking stream.
Yeah. What the hell, Dave?
We gave so much shout outs to Oregon. Well, I didn't. Mighty Meat did,
Yeah.
and you missed it all.
Yeah.
Um, no, so yeah, I don't know, mate. Keep the. I think they contracted to stay there for another 5 years or something, if
Mhm.
I remember correctly. I think that's when their lease finishes. But if they want to move, I mean, we'll hear pretty quickly because it's going to take what 3, 4 years to build a new stadium if they need
Right.
to, and stuff like that. Because I think Vegas was 3 years anyway, so to
Mhm.
build it all. So yeah, and the planning, need everything. So in actual fact, in the next year, we should probably find out where they're going to go, if they're going to go at all, or if they're just moving out into Missouri or somewhere. I don't know, and just build their own stadium. I don't know. They might not move too far. Is what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
Potentially, it was just a shame. I think that teams have got. You can see it both ways. Owners, people say, oh, the owners got loads of money, yeah, but they got loads of money because they're not idiots. You know,
Mhm.
they know that their stadiums, their teams generate a shit ton of money for the region. So if you lose an NFL team, that's going to take a huge hit on the
Oh yeah.
city. So uh, I don't blame them for taking them, asking for X amount to be paid. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Um, no way, damn it! I was told wife was doing laundry all day, so I had a window. Um, um, Nuclear got a shower too. You sharing a shower with Dave or something? I don't know about that. But with Kansas City as well, though, my news was the same. We can still talk about what you said, but Louis Zamet Reese, a Welsh player, has signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, so as part of the international players program. Um,
Okay.
he's a great player. He was one of the best rugby players in Wales, if not the best rugby player in Wales. He's 22. He's fast, but people were saying, "Oh my God, he's faster than DK and Tyreek and stuff." I was like, yeah, I mean, no, because he didn't have any pads or anything on. He didn't have a helmet on. He's no pads on. Nothing. So
Right.
yeah, when he was with nothing on, he was high speed. He ran 4.45 in his pro day. Which is fine. Um, I think they're going to use him on special teams, because with the new rules with kicking now and stuff, there's a short distance, between the players and the catch, and to run it out and stuff. So I think he's going to have deceptive speeds. He knows how to sidestep very well as a rugby player. So I think it's a good pickup. I'm not sure if he's going to. Um, I know he wants to play wide receiver or running back, but I'm not sure he's going to be ever be in that position because he's only just picked up the game. It's going to take him years and years to learn that position. But yeah, it's
Right.
Louis. Zamet Reese. Look him up. There's a few other international players as well out there, but he's the one I know of. Exceptional rugby player. We are gutted that he no longer plays for our country, but I do hope that he does well. And Dave says maybe KC will move to Kansas where they belong. Yeah, that's it, because they're Missouri or something. They might move back. Iowa should have a team, so they need to stay close to the fan base. There we are. So yeah, that was my only news on that, really. And yeah, I keep an eye out on him and some of the other international players, because the international player that came in was two, FA and Baudu or something with Washington, and Milanda or whatever his name, left tackle for the Eagles. He was an international pathway player, just signed a new contract for however many millions. I think he's now the third highest left tackle, and he's from international pathways as well. So yeah, I mean, it's growing the game. So hopefully we see more of it. Not too many, no more Welsh people, please, because we just literally lost our best player. So, but I'll be supporting him. I hope he does well anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, cool. That's really cool, man. Yeah. So,
I heard in 2140 Portland will get baseball and football. In 2140, Portland will get baseball and football. Jeez, but you'd be 69 by then, Dave. You'd be 69 years old.
Probably lose him again.
Dave, every year, if I ask him, well, how old is Dave? 69. He's always 69, no matter what year it is. All right, mate. It's been a long stream. So I've got to go another stream in a bit. I've got to decompress for a little bit. So Dave, I'm going to go on to Sean's channel in a bit, in Potential Criminal. Or criminal, I don't know. So I'm going to go with Sean in a second once I decompress a little bit and get some drinks and stuff like that. But I've enjoyed today. Thanks for doing all that work, by the way. It's interesting.
Yeah, no worries.
I generally have learned a lot. So thanks for doing the research. Yeah. I hate him. See you guys. I'll be there. No worries, Dave. Good night. Who does she hate? Who does he hate? Nuclear.
Sean.
Oh, right. Okay. I've never met him. He's covering.
Okay.
He's covering the Nikolai Miu trial. So and obviously I was the first one to cover it, and it was like he's now playing catch up to cover it, and his fiance is in my chat saying, "Oh, do you want to come on to Sean so you can talk about the trial a little bit?" I've never met the guy, so I don't know him. So I'm just popping in to say hello and just stay for a little bit. That's it. I'll be there in probably about 20 minutes or something like that. So cool. Okay. All right, Dave, Nuclear, everybody, mighty meet as always, brother. Nice to see you. If available, we'll do it next Saturday as well, because next Saturday will be the 13th. We'll do that, and then we'll see what happens after that. Then, because the next week is my birthday on the 20th, so I might not be around. So we might do something on the 21st or something. We'll play by ear, mighty. We'll do, we'll mess about with it, because the next week then I'm excited to do hopefully something maybe before the draft, maybe the Wednesday before the draft, the night before, something if you're free. I don't know. We'll schedule something.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, because I love talking drafts, and I wish we'd maybe done more. Maybe we could do the night before. Maybe we can do a mock draft together, where we pick back and forward or something, and we able to take it from there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll sort it out. But appreciate you, my friends. Thank you, Dave, for 420. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, mate. Everybody, thank you very much. Mighty, thank you, mate. Catch you later, buddy. Everyone, good night.